All right, welcome to week 7 of the 2020 WebCenter Half Marathon Contest. We are in for a treat today. We have none other than the 2020 Certified WebCenter Trainer of the Year, who is going to walk us through this session today. We are all in for a treat. He has been just an incredible WebCenter owner for years. He has been not only a top performer in the WebCenter division, he's been an incredible support system within our WebCenter Owner Support Facebook group. He's been numerous times, right, the Certified WebCenter Trainer of the Year. Anytime he conducts a training, when we look at the evaluations, he's always got some incredible, not only just, numbers and rankings in terms of the star rating, but the comments. I always look at the comments. And the fact of the matter is that Russell is out in the field. He's working. You know that he's walking the walk and talking the talk just by the examples and the things that he shares in his training. So today's session is all about referrals, and we'll talk about referrals from a couple different perspectives, but how can it help you grow your business as a WebCenter owner, as an unfranchised owner, different tips and tricks on how to leverage referrals. So without further ado, I'm actually going to just turn it right over to Russell and let him take us through week 7 for us.
Well, thanks, Jason. That's a wonderful introduction. I'll get the check right out to you for that. So yeah, I guess I'm going to jump right into it and see what we got here. We got week 7. So let me share that. And I got to select it. See, you don't have to be that smart to be good in this business. So we are talking about week 7. Let's get what we got here. We have talking about how do you find potential business contacts that are going to be a good website prospect for you. And one of the things you want to look at is, who are you currently doing business with? Who people you know, and who are places that they have contact with. What are you doing? Maybe times have changed a bit. You may not be going out to eat as much, but you probably do maybe some takeout. You probably are still using some services. We all probably still have a regular doctor, a dentist, attorneys, and there's all kinds of attorneys. Just think of like, who's the attorney that helped you buy your house or set up your will, or from a networking group, anything like that is an attorney you might be able to see as a prospect. You see somebody in the neighborhood, and they've got that little sign out in front of the street that says, work done by this roofing company, this contractor, pavement by. You want to just collect the name and contact info you see on those signs, so you have a good connection. If you are close to that neighbor, you reach out to them and say, can you tell me about that the person who did the contracting work for you? Who was it? How were they? And get in some conversations. You get a couple of data points about the person you're talking to. So just think about all these things you're doing in your regular everyday life. You're interacting with people who could be potentially sources of referrals. You can even someone who doesn't think of themselves as a referral source can become that just by you asking the right questions. Who did this for you? Who do you know who can do that? I bet you anyone you ask, do they know a good doctor or a plumber? They probably know one who's done some work for them or did some work with someone they know. They can probably refer you to one. And so right away they become that referral, even though they don't really think of themselves as someone who does a lot of referring. And so just kind of always keep your radar up, if you will. Always be looking for ways to build these contacts and ways to get more prospects in your list. Because if you run out of people to reach out to, run out of sources for contacts, you essentially stall your business. You don't have a way to keep growing. So you always need to be building that list of potential business sources. So there are people who are really good at referring. And so who are these people? Well, these are people who generally deal with lots of other people. So real estate agents tend to encounter all kinds of people. They're going to know not just people who are buying and selling homes, but they're going to know people who do work on homes, people who invest in properties, people who do all kinds of connected services, whether it be cleaning services, any kind of work in the house, from the roof, the walls, the windows, the floors, to basement, to foundations. All those things real estate agents are going to come in contact with. Same with real estate agents, insurance agents, because all those people that we just named are going to need somebody to do their insurance. The insurance agent is going to know people doing business who need coverage with insurance, and they're going to have often a personal relationship with those people and know who it is that might have some needs in business, because we're looking for people who are trying to grow their business, who are not being served by their website. That's what we're trying to find. Someone who's not happy with their current website, who needs more marketing. That's who we're trying to find. If we can get referred to that connection, the sale becomes easy. Waitresses and bartenders, because they're dealing with people, often people who some business owners will set up shop in a restaurant and have many meetings there time over time. And so the people who work there tend to get to know them, and they can often be a good connection source. All these categories, hairstylists, coaches, all these areas are going to know lots of connections that could be potential for referral sources. And you can cultivate that connection into a referral source just by asking the right questions. Do you know anybody in this kind of business? Do you know anybody who's in a restaurant business, in the construction business? And when you get them thinking about who they might know, you can draw the referral out. Hey, would you mind letting me have their number? Or if they aren't comfortable giving you their number, maybe they would be able to share your info so you can get a conversation going. It's always better if you can get the position where you're reaching out to the person because you control the conversation if you're reaching out to them. But if you can't get that, having them reach out to you is always a nice second choice. Community leaders, church leaders, organization leaders, often so well connected because they work with many people. They're doing fundraising. They're looking for ways to grow their organization, and often come into contact with people in so many different areas of business and life. And these are all people who have their own needs for marketing and getting their word out. And this all is just a process that you can try to find these connections. And you need to be continually thinking about who might this person know and asking the right questions to get that conversation going. And now down here at the bottom was a great one on franchise owners who specialize in other areas. There's a lot of great stories. I know this. One of them is Sue Galad, who's a successful franchise owner who has built a lot in nutrimetrics with doctors. And she also was very successful in websites because what she would do was work with a doctor on nutrimetrics, bring that into the practice. And if they didn't have an effective website to market their own practice, she would say, well, let me hook you up with my guys. Who is my guys? My guys was the WebCenter team who would sell the website for her. She didn't do any of the actual building or discussing the website. She would hand it all over to her guys, but that gave her an additional stream of income and above and beyond what she was achieving with Nutrimetrics, because she was able to refer these connections into the doctors that she's working with. And so this works for pretty much any aspect of the franchise, because not everybody specializes in websites. Some people feel somehow afraid of the websites. They don't want to talk websites. So lots of franchise owners in your team may well know people who need a website. And if you're the UFO with the WebCenter owner, you can be the one who handles that. You get to make the profit on the sale. You might share some of that with the franchise owner as a referral, but you're going to get the BV, and you have that ongoing BV going into your business month after month as this continues. Now, you want to be working out networks. You want to, sit down and talk with other business owners and see what you can achieve. There are lots of business owners that are accustomed to this. They're participating in Chamber of Commerce's or their networking groups, and they're used to this idea of let's just sit down and see how we can network with each other. This is not a weird thing to reach out to a business owner and say, hey, let's have a one-to-one conversation to see how we can help each other out. And so you take them for lunch, coffee, or dinner, just have a conversation, get to know one another, and you're building a relationship. You're not having a meeting, and your objective of the meeting is not, I need to sell you a website. You should be thinking of something else. You want to see about how it is that you can help them. If you have been in this a while, you probably have some network of your own, of people you've worked with, people you know who might be able to help them with some challenges they have. But you're really just trying to find out what is their need, what do they want, and you always be lying back to that what's in it for them part of the conversation. So you always want to find out what it is they're looking for, what are they trying to achieve, what are the things that are important to them, what are they looking for, what are they missing, and what do the people they know have needs in the same respect. What would be important for them to find to help them grow their business, and or the businesses of people they know. And so by having these conversations and seeking for ways to help people, you can have a lot of great benefit. Now, maybe somebody is just looking for a good landscaper, and you might know a good landscaper from some other conversations you have, or maybe you have a client who's a landscaper. It's okay for you to provide that referral and not get anything out of it directly. But when you've done that, you've essentially done this person a favor, and they're going to feel like they kind of owe you something. So the next time somebody who's complaining about their website, they're going to think, well, who could I help? Who could I help them out with this? And they say, well, they're going to call you because you've let them know that you can help people who are complaining about their website because you can help solve that problem. And so this is a very powerful way to build your business. And you should not just think about, in the previous page, I had a list of people who could be potential referrals, but also your current clients can be a tremendous source of referrals, because if they're happy clients, they're going to be ecstatic about referring you new business. And some of the best businesses that referrals I've gotten have come from existing clients, because they can properly set the expectations for the referral. And when I speak to the person, the deal is often basically done. I just have to get them in front of the product so they see what it is that they're signing up for. So you want to learn about each other in these conversations. Avoid getting into the tech conversations, because if you're looking for referrals, they don't particularly care about what kind of technology it is. They generally are not going to have a lot of expertise in is it WordPress or Joomla or some other things. They really just want to know, can you get the job done? And so if you have the posture and confidence that you can achieve the results they're looking for, they're not really going to care about what it is. A good example is if you're going to refer somebody a plumber. They say, I have a leaky faucet, I need a plumber, you're going to refer that plumber. Are they going to turn around to you and say, well, does this plumber use plastic or copper piping? Does he have all the correct certifications? And does he charge a little or a lot? What's his pricing structure? And you're not going to know any of these things, because you're probably just knowing this guy's a good plumber. I had a problem in the house. He came by, he took care of it, and I was happy with the results. So I'm referring you this guy. These details, you need to talk to him. And so you don't want to be focusing on the tech questions, and you shouldn't get a lot of tech questions. It should be much more about how to provide solutions. What is the problem you're trying to solve? And so you help them understand what you're looking for. And, and this is an example of, what's your ideal client. I work with small, medium-sized businesses. We work with small, medium-sized businesses. Right now, we're looking to set up appointments with roofers or landscapers. By getting more specific about the kind of business you're looking for, you're helping them narrow their mind. They might know 1,000 people, but if you just say, I can work with anyone, that kind of leaves them with a foggy idea of who you're looking for. But if you're more specific, even more specific you need to be, roofers or landscapers, that lets them think, well, oh, I know 3 landscapers. Maybe one of them is a good referral, or maybe all 3 of them are. And so that gives you a better chance of getting a good connection with that client. And so that's a great step. Kind of just drive your referral source into what's a good opportunity for you. And you want to make sure to treat that referral like gold. Make sure that you take very good care of them, so the person who referred you to them feels you've taken very good care of them, so they feel comfortable sending you more referrals in the future. So it's about setting up the process. Once you've got that referral to reach out to, you want to have some kind of direct approach. Make sure they know, if you're making the call directly, they know why you're there. You're not, this script's a good example. Hi, Lisa, I'm not sure if Frank mentioned, I'd be getting you in touch. You get Frank's name right out there right away, so they know this is not somebody calling them cold. They know that Frank told you about them. Now, Frank may or may not have warned them that you're going to call, but that's okay. By giving Frank's name right there, you've given them some reason to think that you're more than just a cold call who doesn't know anything about them or anybody else. And so we follow this on the script forward. Frank mentioned I might be getting in touch. Frank and I were talking the other day. He mentioned I might be able to help you with your business, because hopefully Frank will have told you this person was complaining about their website. It doesn't, nobody can find it in Google, or they didn't know how to edit it, or it doesn't show up properly on a mobile phone. Any of the most common problems that customers often have with their website. Ideally, you want to have some idea what the challenge is for their website, so you can help them address that issue. And so they're going to turn around and ask you, what do? You want to be very comfortable answering it, have that what is it answer right there. So ideally, you want to tailor that answer so it is to exactly the need. So if their need is getting a website found properly by Google, so I work with an agency that is expert at finding, at tuning websites to show properly with Google. If their challenge is being able to set up e-commerce, I work with a company that sets up very powerful and effective e-commerce websites. So you can really tailor that answer to make sure that they understand you are the most qualified person to potentially solve the problem you already know they have if you've gotten that info ahead of time from the referral. If you don't have a good idea what their challenge is, you might want to be a little more generic in your answer to what you do, but you want to be sure that the answer is broad enough that they understand it's going to address whatever the challenge is. So I help businesses maintain a great presence online. It's very kind of across the board because I could cover the website, could be covered social media, could be online advertising. You don't know what it is, but that way you can help them solve whatever their challenges is, because it happens we have ways to approach all those challenges. And so you want to make sure that you have that answer to what do you do comfortable and ready to roll off the tongue right when that question comes to you. Because if you were in any other profession and I said to you, what do you do? And you're saying like, I hem and haw, and don't really know the answer. Except if you're a school teacher and your answer was, well, these kids come in the classroom and I show them stuff and I give them tests and I have to prepare a program ahead of time and we don't work in this. That doesn't make any sense. Your answer should be very clear and precise. It's, I'm a teacher, or I'm a grade school teacher, as opposed to having something that seems odd. So you make sure this answer is very comfortable and natural to you. It doesn't feel like you are making it up on the fly when you answer the question. Also be aware of, are you presenting yourself as a minor or a pro? If you are building web centers into your life in addition to something else you do, like maybe you have a day job that's your primary focus, but you also are working web centers, make sure that your answer plays into that. So I work with a great company that helps businesses as opposed to I am the person who's. But if you're the pro, I'm a marketing consultant or I'm a marketing expert that helps businesses save money online while increasing revenue. It's just a matter of the terminology you work there. Either is fine. It's just a matter of what you want to express to your prospect to make sure they understand. And you want to be very comfortable with the answer either way. So you should kind of work through the answer to what is it? What do you do? Make sure you're comfortable and practiced in it. And I recommend a couple of these in your back pocket. And so I would, if we were in person, I would have you recite these with me. So, maybe you can play along a little and do a little bit of this right now. So I help businesses with their online presence and marketing. My firm works with business to improve their marketing efforts through the internet. I help businesses cut advertising costs and save money. My company helps businesses increase their sales and tap new markets while controlling costs. And so, I mean, as I said, you want to be comfortable with a couple of these. You want to have ones that kind of fit the needs of a particular client. If you know their need is being found in Google, you want to have one that kind of focuses on, I really help businesses get the best website by optimizing it for search engines like Google. If it's important for them to be able to keep it current and update, you want to maybe tap that into your answer. But be comfortable with the answer so you have the posture, because it's so important that your posture is that you are confident that you have this. Because if you are unsure or not consistent in your answer, it triggers the customer to ask a lot of questions. Well, can you really do that? Do you really know what you're talking about? Are you really comfortable doing this? So the more comfortable you are with the answer, the better. I'd love to see if anybody can pop into chat and say, well, maybe try a couple of their answers and see what your potential answers would be. I mean, the thing is, it's nice to share that with the group and just to understand there's no wrong answer here. The important thing is how you answer, not exactly what you answer, because the more confident you are in your answer, the better the experience for the potential prospect is going to be. So if you could, any of you just take a moment and just give your answer in a chat and see what you would say to a prospect who asks that deadly question. Well, what is it you do? Or what can you do for me? That's a challenge question. You want to make sure you're always ready to answer, because that can be a killer if you're not ready for it. And so you want to be very prepared to be able to answer that question properly. I'll check back on that a little bit. See, well, here's There's Kim says, I'm located in Troy. My team helps businesses get found online using beautiful website design, social media marketing, and Google advertising. I love that. If you can say that comfortably to a prospect, you are golden. And Daryl has, my firm works with businesses to improve marketing efforts through the internet. That's great. That's awesome. So as long as you're comfortable saying that to a prospect, that's a good thing to say, and make sure that you have it solid. So it's all about building rapport. It's make sure that you have a good relationship. And so here's a couple of thoughts towards how do you work when you're booking an appointment. I really like this. I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is this is a very disarming thing because it lets them know you're not going to keep them on the line for hours, because you're telling them right up front you're in a hurry yourself. And so the reason I'm calling is Frank mentioned that you have a problem on your website and that he thought I'd be able to help you with. You want to edify them. You want to say anything positive you can see about them. Say, you know, I see your trucks all around. Obviously, you're doing great business in the area, and you know, really wanted to see how it is we can help you, or however it is you want to promote them. And then we get into this. We're asking for a referral meeting. We get right into is I want to get together to learn more about your business as well as share what I do in hopes we can create a referral relationship. And this, if you are not currently working with a networking group or having experience with the networking, that might seem like a weird thing to say. But understand, to a business owner that's been in the business for a while, that's a very common request to get somebody who just wants to network with them and meet and see how they can help each other. That is a common thing. And you understand that they're going to be often very receptive to this. Sometimes they're very busy, may not have time for it right away. You might want to be, you know, poking, why is it you think you can help me? And the answers are going to be, well, I actually have a network of people who might be able to use your services and might be able to help each other. And that plays into this next part of this script here. You may or may not be interested in my services, but that's fine. However, I'm sure we can help each other figure it out. How soon can we get together? And you're looking to get a person to agree to be either an online, like through a Zoom, or to a one-on-one meet, just to have that casual networking conversation. Now, obviously, if somebody gives you a referral, you want to be able to thank them. And it's nice to be able to give someone a cash money referral. You obviously want to have this be lucrative for both ends. You're going to be able to offer a referral if you're making money on it. You don't want to pay somebody for giving you a lead that doesn't turn into a sale. So you can tell people, I can pay a referral for a lead. Now, sometimes, particularly with friends and family, people will seem a little bit weird about accepting money for having given a referral because they think they're just helping somebody out. So be careful not to poke into that if it isn't quite in what they're comfortable with. But often people are very happy to get a finder's fee for giving a business referral to somebody who's able to help them out. And so you can think of what are ways you can give that referral. Well, one of them is obviously just write a check and give them some money. But I personally like the shop.com gift card solution, because that is giving your referral source a connection to shop.com and potentially earning you some BV or IBV on the back end of it, because they have to use that gift card somewhere. But you can really structure it however you like. And it's obviously, you can give the e-gift. It's a great one because then you have a little more control about where it gets spent. But I personally like the shop.com gift card solution because it is flexible, and it lets them have the freedom, and it plugs them into shop.com. So we're building a relationship. We're going to make relationships stronger, continue to keep in contact and connection with your referral sources, particularly if somebody's been able to refer your business in the past. Just continue to maintain that relationship. Be friendly. Just talk. Not knock on the door. Hey, you got any more work for me? But the more presence of mind you are, the more that you're in their attention, the more comfortable they're going to think about you. More often they're going to think about you when they stumble into somebody who has a challenge you can help. So you're going to build that relationship and be able to help people grow and just expand. You want to be normal. There's a the more aggressively you're looking for a referral, the more desperate you seem, the more unlikely someone is to refer something to you. And it's depressing, but it's true. Because if they feel like you're desperately in need of the work, they're going to think there's some reason that you don't have any work. And so the more casual you are about it, the stronger your posture is, the more comfortable they'll feel like it will be to refer you something, because they understand that you are the qualified expert and who is in the position to take care of their referral source, their referral lead properly. And of course, always be caring about the prospects, even more so when they're coming from a referral source, because I understand that if you don't take care of that referral properly, you could be damaging the referral source and be cutting off that potential lead for more, the potential source for more leads in the future. So you want to track this. You want to build that list of names, really refer back to this on a common basis, figure out who it is that you know that has these kinds of relationships. They're employed by a small, medium business, that's SMB. They are an existing client, and you want to follow through what, maybe they couldn't sell something to you, but they could refer you to somebody, and you can really fill this out and think, who are the potential people I can fill this list in to find that I can reach out to. Because if you're not calling businesses to sell them a website, you should be calling referral sources to find connections to build potential website sales. And so we have a follow-up Friday, which is reach back to people who missed calls, or maybe they saw a demo and they weren't ready to buy right now, and just circle back and continue to see how people are doing, and check in on your referral sources, check in on your existing website clients, check in on really anybody you can. If you don't have a direct website demo scheduled, you should be reaching out to other people to see what's going on with them, set up some meetings and contacts to build that list. And you should be able to fill pages like this on a weekly basis. And the more activity you can fill on this page in terms of contacts and relationships you're building, the more your business will grow. And it's just a matter of doing the work and getting the connections. So you want to build your weekly exercises. You want to record your weekly activity. You want to make sure you're plugging into recorded webinars, contest webinars. You want to just keep track of what you got going on. This is if you're working in an accountability group, you can fill out a sheet like this and hand in that sheet and check off what you've done. It's really reassuring to see that you've gotten the good full page worth. So if you don't feel like you're getting the results you want, you can definitely see, well, I'm doing the work. It's just a matter of how long before that work turns into something that pays us back. And it should make you feel pretty bad if you can't fill a sheet like this, because it means you're not doing the work you need to be doing, and that might be when you're not seeing the results you want. So put that work in and get the results. I'm seeing Jason pop back in here. You have more to add here?
No, I know that we're closing in, so I just want to make sure that I had some final commentary. No, you're doing a great job. Continue.
Yeah, so it's all about doing the work, and it's very hard in a business like this to know exactly what the right work is. So you just want to be getting out there and getting into conversation, and the more conversations you have, the easier they become. And so it may be terrifying when you're new to go out there and talk to a business owner about, hey, how's your marketing? But I guarantee you, the more you do it, the more casual it seems and the easier it gets. And you don't get those tough questions like, show me some websites you've done, and what do you charge? And all those questions we all dread. Those come from when you're not comfortable. The more comfortable you are and the better your posture is, you don't get those questions. So the more you do this, the easier it gets. So do you want to take the challenge, or is this me?
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think that the most important thing is what you just spoke to, was that activity leads to results. And it's funny, you think back over the years, a lot of our top WebCenter owners and trainers, Russell, we don't get a lot of those objections. So what it is, it's the discomfort initially that can bring up some of those challenging scenarios or questions. But like you said, you got to just kind of bear through it and get comfortable and practice, and you'll get the results you're looking for. And the most important thing is that it will come from activity, for sure. Russell, you hit on so many great points, and I know it's because it's what you do and you've been successful. How long have you been a WebCenter owner?
Well, I mean, embarrassingly, my wife found this business. It wasn't me. The first convention I didn't even go to. My brother's down in Miami, and she went to convention, and I went to my brother to a chili eating contest. Um, but no, she bought the web center and brought it into our family, and I had no clue how it was she was selling websites when I was building websites for a job, and it took me 6 months to build a website, and she was knocking them out in a couple of weeks and getting checks showing up in the mailbox for it. But that was about 12 years ago, and um, the job I had kind of faded away, and so I kind of started working with her closer to full time than full time, and we just started knocking them out as a team. Kind of would tag team the clients and just chew through them, and yeah, that's how we started hitting a lot of awards. And as I said, the more you do it, the easier it gets because you've got a couple things behind you. You have the experience of knowing when a challenge arises that you know how to solve that because you've seen it before. And the other thing is that you've built that network of potential referrals to your clients. So you become your own networking team in and of yourself because you have a nice solid base of people you're working with that can help the people you're working with. As you find that not only do I sell them a website, but I hook them up with a guy to fix their foundation. And then it's, you wouldn't think that would happen, but it actually does. And so then you become not just the guy who built their great website, but also the ones that saved them $15,000 on their foundation. So that's the kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah, it's almost like building your own intra network, right? Your own
Absolutely.
referral. And it's like everyone wants to know what is the endless stream of referrals? Well, that's it, right? If you can be the one that's connecting and referring other people, clients and services, they almost feel obligated, but they trust you. You build that relationship, and now they're willing to send you referrals. And it's really that's where I think you've done such a great job and the magic that has happened. And I know that you've been a member of a referral group like BNI groups.
Yeah, they have BNI in England and UK, I believe, and so it's like a chamber of commerce kind of thing. It's a little more targeted networking wise. I think some of the other slides in this presentation might cover that more specifically, but that is a very targeted way to get in the networking conversation that puts people really in the mindset of, well, how can I help you? How can you help me? Kind of conversation. And so that's really designed exactly for that. So if there's a BNI opportunity in your area, I definitely recommend you plug into it. You can often visit these things for a couple times for free, and that can really start kind of the juices going. And that has definitely been a source for a lot of my business, but not all of it. But some of my business has come from there and then has continued to feed more because those clients are good referral sources themselves.
Right. Absolutely. And certainly speaking to kind of the state of the economy and the state of the world right now, a lot of these networking groups are online. Or a lot of people are from home and these groups aren't meeting physically, but it's about maybe even reaching out to, your local community business owners and saying, hey, do you belong to a networking group? And see if you can find out where they are networking. And there might be a local group, a business association that are getting together once a month or once a week. But there's plenty of online groups as well.
Hmm.
Whereas, in the past, these online networking groups was just like maybe on LinkedIn or Facebook, where it was all like text and messaging, but now they're getting on Zoom and they're doing things like this, which is really making it accessible, right? Networking is more accessible globally than ever before.
Absolutely. And our product has no shipping on it, so it's available to really anybody. Just you gotta get it in front of them.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, we'll be focusing on networking groups specifically here in upcoming weeks. But this week, I want all the Web Center owners that are joining us in this half marathon contest to focus on having at least one referral meeting this upcoming week. Right? Go out there and make a new friend, another business owner, and see if you can schedule a time just to have a business to business conversation to see what they do. What do they like about it? Where are their challenges? And you can share about what it is that you do as a way to build that referral network. And it all starts with one meeting, right? It's all going to start with that one meeting, and it's going to be that one step out of your comfort zone that could be the game changer for you. And once you do that, you're going to realize how easy it is to just get in conversations where you might start having multiple referral meetings that then will turn into business in weeks to come. But if you never take that first step and attempt to reach out for a referral type of meeting, well, then it's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
Right. Like to have everyone think of a referral campaign. Right now, it is the holiday season. Maybe you're going to have some type of discount, a promotional code. You've got businesses that are looking at their 2021 advertising and marketing budget. You've got some that maybe have cut back on some of the marketing through 2020. Maybe you're going to tie into some sort of gift giving, or even the Small Business Saturday is another opportunity. And it was in the comments about even doing like a newsletter. Absolutely. It's all about communicating what your offer is and ways that you can give back. I think a great thing everyone should do is build your own networking group in your own community and invite local businesses to it. Hey, I'm starting a networking group and I would love to meet some other local business owners. Who is available Thursday at 5 p.m. or who is available on Friday morning at 7:30? And maybe you can be the one to spur it and spawn it. And what happens is that now everyone's attracted to you because you're the one who kind of connected everyone together. All right.
Absolutely.
And the last reminder here is, next week we've got Black Friday, we've got the Thanksgiving holiday in the US, and then we also have Small Business Saturday, which is really geared towards small business. But it's not just the US, right? This is really a global issue right now that small businesses are suffering. So anything that you can do right now to network with small business owners and help them, reach out to your local businesses and ask them, what kind of promotions do you have coming up for the holidays? What kind of things do you need in order to promote your business better over the next couple of weeks or months? And make a post, tag them in your social profiles. Maybe send out an email to some friends and family about some great businesses in your community. And just being more philanthropic and having a genuine interest in your local community, that's going to do wonders. And it's really about being an advocate for small business. And there certainly is a great need for that as we go into the holiday season, where a lot of businesses simply don't know if they're going to be able to make it. Russell, these businesses are suffering. If they haven't closed already, they're looking right now at how much longer can they stay in business. And that's scary. These are people that employ your friends, your family members, your neighbors. Their business success will help, put food on the table of maybe your child's best friend, the teacher's husband that teaches your children, right? So when you work small and you shop small, you're supporting more than just that one business and business owner. It's far reaching. And I want you each to think about the impact that you can have on the local community.
Oh, absolutely. Because I'm just thinking back to when this whole pandemic thing started. I had a bunch of clients who needed to quickly update their website to affect, how it had affected them, what the different rules were for how our clients could approach them. The restaurants are converting to more of a curbside pickup than a dine in, because they weren't allowed to do dine in. And so having the tools available on the website that could let them do that quickly was very powerful for them. And so anybody who's missing that is missing out, because they're losing potential business because they don't have the ability to advertise that they're doing these things.
Right. And now that there's some, countries and states that are now kind of reversing, they're getting shut down. They're getting back to, orange status. Well, what's going to happen is that those non-essential, right, that they're not deemed essential by the government, well, they still have to drive revenue somehow. So having even e-commerce, having gift cards or gift certificates or some way to have dollars or pounds, coming into their business, no matter where the source is going to be vitally important to them. So having those hard conversations and saying, how can I help? What can we do? How can we creatively find ways to help you in this pandemic right now? And I think it's our obligation as business to business professionals to help them do that.
The sun has gone down on me, so it's gotten dark where I am. That's why it's so gloomy here.
Yeah. No problem. Well, let me do this. I think we've got a couple chats. We'll close it out. I'll stop the recording.